I'm Naima. I'm from the Journalism School and Computer Science Department. This is Kelsey. She's from the Information School. And that's Camille and Jenny behind the camera. They're both from the Journalism School. And we've got Josh and Sean. They're both faculty advisors from the Journalism School. So today we're going to talk to you about our project inside a Washington, D.C. food desert. So we envisioned that this project would be an example of how VR can be used to make information more accessible and credible. We chose the topic of food deserts because we thought it would be a perfect type of story that combines both of these concepts, because there's a lot of information surrounding the topic, but the human element can't be ignored.
So our process. So we approached this project as any reporter would. We started conducting research on what areas were food deserts in Southeast DC and the surrounding Maryland kind of suburbs in that area, contacting local store owners, and ultimately beginning our filming process. At the same time, we were researching what software we wanted to use, and we settled on a plugin called Metal Skybox, which we then started kind of making test videos, short test videos, to make sure we knew how to add graphics into the video. After that, we created our final video. We actually have 3 final videos, because we ultimately want to kind of test these with different audiences and see which techniques are most effective. So we have one final video in which we kind of went the more traditional journalism route. We show every person that we interviewed at least one time, and that results in kind of more changes between clips in the video. We have a second one where we opted not to show all of the people that we interviewed and instead explored different ways of explaining who was talking without actually showing their face, to create a more immersive experience. And then we have a third version, which is on a platform called VIR, that's VIAR, which is a paid service, but it's free to add it on the back end. So basically you upload a video, and then you can kind of create hotspots within the video that people can click on if they're watching it on a screen, or they can look at if they're using any sort of VR goggles, and the information will pop up. So within those 3 versions of the video, we have 2 graphics that we implemented, and we tried each one in a different way. One that has arrows pointing to the information that we want people to look at, and one where we have the graphics in 2 different spots. And then we also kind of played around with where we had the information about who was speaking in the video as well, so we could test, where people would look, where they would find that information, if there's a place where we would keep that information that they wouldn't notice that it was there. We ultimately wanted to test during this period, but we weren't able to get to that point because of the amount of time it took to learn the plugin software, but that's kind of a next step for us. And then ultimately we also compiled a website which has everything that we learned this semester, starting from the filming process all the way to the editing and uploading process. And it also includes all of the challenges that we encountered, so that other people can learn from our successes and failures and kind of implement these strategies as well. Oh, that's the website. You want the video?
All right, so I'm going to show you a small clip of our video. So as you can see, both of the reporters are in the shot. So we did some of the clips have the interview question asked within the video, and some don't.
Really that many places like Shoppers, Aldi, and not that many other ones.
And then this was taken at a Giant, and here the camera is attached to a shopping cart. So if you scroll down, you can see the shopping cart. And then this is one of the graphics we did. It's in 2 places.
40 minutes by walking, and that means crossing a 6-lane road.
And then we have, if you keep playing it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. If you scroll, you should see a lower thirds come up to show you who's speaking.
You go to the store, you have to walk uphill to get back.
So during this project, we faced a lot of typical reporting problems, such as store owners not wanting us to film, and then customers who had a lot to say but didn't want to be recorded. Initially, we did find, however, that the 360 camera helped us get a foot in the door with a lot of places, because they either found the camera interesting, and it was a lot less intimidating than your regular broadcast camera or DSLR. Initially in filming, our idea was to follow one person walk throughout a grocery store, but we didn't end up going that route because, one, we didn't find that person willing to let us follow him or her around, and then we didn't actually have a solid method of getting the person, the reporter, out of the frame and the equipment out of the frame. We did try one moving shot with the shopping cart, as you saw. That was stationary, but we did one where they were moving around. But most of the grocery stores we visited were international food markets, which were too small for a shopping cart to fit in. Another challenge we faced was actually capturing the reality of what a food desert is. It's defined by the lack of food grocery stores, so that made us shift our story focus to international food stores.
And then when you think about the kind of some of the editing challenges that we faced, one of the kind of main tensions that we encountered throughout this was how much we wanted to kind of go back to the tried and true methods of creating a broadcast journalism piece, and how much we kind of wanted to explore new terrain and try different things. So I mentioned this idea of, you know, how much of the interviews we actually wanted to show. Because we still wanted it to be an immersive piece, we were afraid that the more kind of videos, clips we jump between throughout the video, the more it would pull someone out of the story and make them keep remembering that they're not actually in the store with the person. So as a compromise, we created this one version where we had just the B-roll playing over top and just something that said, you know, the voice of this person. We wanted to kind of add some credibility back because we were afraid that not showing their face might kind of detract from how people viewed what that person was saying. It might affect how what that person was saying. We wanted to do that by adding a picture of the person above the text of you know, their name. We weren't able to do that because we thought about that in editing and not during filming, but that's kind of a solution we thought of that we do have on our blog as a suggestion for other people to try. Let's see, yes, so then, next slide. So then, working together as a team, it was really helpful to have the team that we did, and we really each had something to contribute. I was really more of a researcher, kind of organizer of the team, documenter of the process. I created the website. Jenny did all of the filming. She was our main filming lead. She was really helpful with that. And she's also bilingual, which really helped us in the international markets because it made the store owners more comfortable and more willing to allow us to film there. Naima was really helpful with the graphics. She did a lot of editing and also a lot of reporting. And Camille was very versatile and kind of filled in on all of the tasks that we needed, especially in filming, but also throughout the project. And we're creating our VIAR version of our video. It was also really helpful to have two mentors because they each had their own perspectives and their own backgrounds, which we were able to bring into our discussion and really create meaningful dialogue.
So the overall impact and outcomes of this project. The videos will be used to conduct further testing to figure out what methods of graphic overlay and information overlay works and what doesn't. The website where we documented the entire process and challenges we faced will be up for other journalists to use, and we're planning on publishing through CNS, Capital News Service, and in the future we want to explore more partnerships so our final video has more reach, and ultimately we want our research to further this conversation about 360 storytelling. And that's it. Any questions?